because I'm thinking skip shot, honestly, but I don't want to hit a stake and I don't want to jam it in the bank and still be OB.
And that looks like a pretty good incline off the water too. I don't know if you can skip it. Plus, do they skip off of moss? Because there looks like there's a lot of moss on there too. I know what Logan would be doing. Logan would be frogging if he was there, watching NASCAR and frog, and this redneck would be in heaven.
There's probably some in there.
Yo, you already know what it is. It's the Players Meeting, a Win Dummies production. Welcome in. I'm your host, Lucas Deal. And guess what? We are already at episode number 24. And this episode is all about Worlds. A little preview into the upcoming event. We're super excited about it. But you know what? A few other things have happened this week that we must address. Number one, where's Ronnie? Number two, Chandler Kramer and the Lonestar drama. We're going to talk about the release of the 2025 Pro Tour schedule, more job losses on the DGPT, and of course, we're going to dig into what's already happened, which is Worlds doubles, the long drive contest, and the putting contest. If you're here and you're listening, go ahead and go over to our YouTube, Disc and Deals coverage, subscribe over there, like the podcast, share the podcast, comment on the podcast. We would love to hear from you. If you've forgotten, you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, you name it, check it out. Check us out there. We'd love to have you. Well, let's go ahead and bring in the gang. The one-time world champ, Chris Smith, a.k.a. Smitty. I refuse to call him by any other name. And for the third straight week in a row, Dynamic Disc sponsored player, Mr. Logan Harpool. Fellas, welcome in. It's so exciting to have you two back. What's been going on? How y'all feeling?
I feel like I've been here before. Go ahead, Lucas. Tell the world what happened.
Yeah, so we just did this whole introduction just a second ago, and I forgot to hit record. So I really nailed the second one, though. I'm glad we had a redo. That mulligan was well used.
Well done. No, I'm good. I do wish you would refer to me by my new nickname. It's not going to catch Lucas if you don't start pushing it. And I got the hats ordered, the stickers ordered. Everything's coming in next week, so let's get on it. Smitty Snapback from now on, please.
All right. Well, as long as someone else has called you that, did anyone else call you that?
Oh, it was ringing through the woods of Marquette every turn. Smitty Snapback.
Did they chant it as you won? I did see you won this weekend.
I did win the 40 division. I did not win the entire tournament.
All right. That's fair. Logan, are you going to call Smitty Snapback or?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll think about
That's
it.
How I feel. Okay, cool. How are you, dude?
Good. Got really the first week and a half of school under my belt. Got some good kids this year and coming off of a 2-week break from tournaments myself and feeling rejuvenated, clear head, ready to step back into it and hit this home stretch. I don't think I have a weekend off until November now, so it's going to be fun.
All right.
Yeah, I got tons of stuff coming up too. The kids tournament. We got Glitchital this Saturday, which I'm pumped for. That's going to be so much fun. I've been invited to come down to Loftville and Abilene, and we're going to run the Aces and Eights tournament at Brown Park. So Hayesville Huck, 1880. Those are all just tournaments that I'm running, plus throw in the Frontier Open and maybe keeper of the chains or whatever, planes, the chains, keeper of the chains. So, yep. I'm like right. Logan, busy man.
Yeah, I love to hear it. Well, let us start where we always start. What's poppin'? What's been happening around the world of disc golf? And we know this episode is all about Worlds, but we can't start there because there's a few things we need to talk about. And the first thing is
the elephant in the room.
Is this a fat joke about me, Smitty?
It could end that way if you're not lucky. So, no, we just got to talk about where the heck Ronnie is and what's going on. So, long story short, Lucas and Ronnie had a hell of a time getting along. They would pick at each other and irritate the crap out of each other. And finally it boiled over, and I was always stuck in the middle and hated every minute of it. And my first day back to school boiled over while I was at work. I couldn't defuse any of it. And I look back later, and Ronnie was no longer on the podcast, but he and I are still going to do Win Dummies, and we both enjoy that. And I enjoy doing this. So there we go.
Yeah, so Ronnie will continue doing Oz Talk with Smitty, the live show, on the second Wednesday of every month. And then Smitty and I will continue running this, sometimes with Logan, maybe sometimes not. We'll kind of see and play that by ear. But make sure you check out both still. I'm glad we got to address that. And you know what? Let's move into some disc golf related content. And let's start with the 2025 Disc Golf Pro Tour schedule. Smitty, I know there's one glaring thing that us in Kansas are going to have to talk about, but before we jump into there, tell me how you think about the flow of the schedule for the 2025 season.
It's very similar to last year. Start in Florida, make your way through Texas, West Coast swing, then come back to the Midwest, whatever. Take a road over to Europe if you want to, and you look at that, you can spend a long time in Europe. This is kind of weird to me, this back-to-back majors. But when I would guess the majority of your field is coming across the ocean, I guess you better make it worth their dollar. So, and then they come back to the States and hit a lot of the mainstays on the tour. But yeah, it's going to be weird not having a Emporia on the Disc Golf Pro Tour schedule I'm guessing it's got to be the first time in the 10-year history of the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. You guys are both Dynamic Disc sponsored. I don't know why it's not coming over, why we're not going to be playing the DDO or the Dynamic Disc Open or GBO or whatever it is at this point. I don't know if Champions Landing is getting worked on. I don't know if you two have any insider information or anything that you can share, but it's going to be sad that it's not going to be there. Instead, they're playing Kansas City, the KC Wide Open. So anything you guys would like to share or anything you know?
I don't have a whole lot. I do have confidence that event will happen, just in a different capacity. It's not that Dynamic is getting out of events or moving away from the player experience in any way. I just think the Pro Tour is making changes. And I know from a player perspective, not necessarily mine, but I heard people not liking the location specifically, that it's so far from an airport. They didn't want to fly 3-4 hours to drive another hour and a half to a very small, secluded town with not a whole lot around it, which Emporia kind of fits that bill. So I don't know. If the Pro Tour is listening to players, I think there's a couple other stops they could eliminate as well that aren't desirable locations. But I have confidence in Dynamic, and what I do know that there will be events, and probably one big event in that place. It just won't be affiliated with the Pro Tour. And I think if there's an event that is, I don't want to say, I guess, comparable, KC Wide Open seems to fit that bill. I think it was fun to watch.
KC Wide Open's been around for a long time, like 43 or 44 years. And Kansas City Disc Golf Club has a phenomenal backing, and they do a great job of every tournament they run.
They do.
As for the Dynamic Disc Open, I got zero idea what's going on there. I have zero connections at DD anymore. It's changed for me so much over the last 8 to 10 years that, yeah, I mean, I'm just another dude to them at this point. I think the heydays of that entire event in Emporia were when it was AMs and pros together. As soon as they split it, I think it really lost the appeal for a lot of the AMs to come where they could go downtown and see the pros and follow the pros and get on the course with the pros and do all that. Now, I don't know if he'll ever be able to come back to that capacity. I would hope that it could, because gosh dang, it was fun. But yeah, so I'm with Logan. I'm sure there'll still be an event at Champs Landing. I'm sure it's in the middle of some revamping of some sort. To quote Rusco, we're always working on something. So
that's the thing, is that used to be one of the biggest tournaments ever, right? I mean, I think at one point it held records for the most attendance, and then I think Ledgestone kind of edged them out. But that is when you had pros and AMs.
I also think they set the bar really high in the GBO days. Then COVID hit, everything explodes, and then now I personally have not played an event that was full since probably April. It's down. The numbers are down. Events aren't filling. It's hard to get amateurs to come even to that event. And, when they were giving away commander bags full of discs, everybody was, there were still people that complained, but you knew what you were getting when you went there. And it's impossible to keep upping that year after year. They literally gave out backpacks full of discs in glass blown open player packs. Mm-hmm. Then they split the field. We had COVID years. It stayed up and then it went down. So I really don't know a lot more than I'm sharing. I'm confident it's not a terrain issue with Champs Landing. They could have it ready. Either the Pro Tour wanting to go in a different direction, or Dynamic just wanting to do their own thing and do something a little bit different. I don't know what it is.
There was a lot of big names that weren't at the DDO this year as well. That could have something to do with it too. If Paul Macbeth's not coming to your Pro Tour event, and Paige Pierce isn't coming, and Tatar wasn't there, I don't think, was she? No. Because Emily almost beat him coming down the stretch. So, yep. So there was a lot of big names that just weren't coming to it for the reasons that Logan probably mentioned before. But yeah, and back in the early days of the whole thing, it was one of the first real tournaments on a ball golf course. So that was kind of a big draw. And now, everything is on a ball golf course everywhere they go. So,
yep, it's true. Sad to see it gone. Hopefully it makes a rejuvenation and comes back on the Pro Tour. But let's go ahead and switch gears.
Talking about gone.
And Ace Run Productions. So this is a post that Ace Run Pro made just recently. They were doing some coverage and not anymore. So they said, and I quote, "This is certainly not what we expected to be announcing at this point of the season. Unfortunately, due to budget cuts on the part of the DGPT, we have been released from covering the remaining events of the 2024 DGPT season. This was unexpected on our part. However, we understand that business is business and tough decisions have to be made. We greatly enjoyed working alongside some amazing people while covering the best disc golfers on the planet this season and in seasons past. We certainly hope this isn't goodbye forever."
I don't know what they did. Were they the film crew? Is that what they were?
Yeah, I actually don't know either. And this is probably, unfortunately, why they got the axe, because they weren't doing any type of post-produced anything, were they?
I don't believe so.
I know at one point they were doing some woman stuff, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
I feel like all that got absorbed by Jomez when the Pro Tour bought out Jomez. And I really think they were just the guys at this point running the camera. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And that's pretty scary that if the dude's running your product, the Disc Golf Network, which is a big moneymaker, I would assume, for the Disc Golf Pro Tour, if the guys who are in charge of making you look good are all gone, who are you going to have? I see AJ Risley running around there with that long hair.
Yeah.
Is he going to be the lead camera guy now, or what's going to happen? So
I was trying to look real quick. I want to say Ace Run. It could have been Gatekeeper, but I think Ace Run was the crew covering Chase or Third Card, because I think it's one of the guys that Eagle hit with that grenade, or the guy that landed. You remember when it landed on top of his head?
Yeah.
I want to say that was Ace Run. So they were doing some kind of a non-lead card production, but I don't know what they were doing this year. That was open at Austin a couple years ago. So
yeah, once everything changed, I have no idea exactly what their capacity was.
Well,
So
going back to what I said about numbers going down post-COVID, we had an explosion. Now it's down. And the only reason, maybe not the only reason, I know disc golf is big in Europe, but did you see the galleries at European Open and the festival and all that? From what I understand, I believe spectating was free over there.
Yep.
The Pro Tour is charging on American soil, and it doesn't look like there's as many people watching. So maybe they counted on money coming in that rightfully so came in the past, and it's just not there anymore.
Yeah.
So they did charge at the not at the Beast. They can't charge there because it's so many entries into the course. But I know that the festival that was paid entry.
The Beast was the massive gallery, though, the one that looks awesome.
Oh yeah, every year, right? It's just nuts. It's wall to wall. Like every tournament was there for a little bit. So yeah, and I call myself a disc golf nerd, but I watch it live pretty much start to finish on all the men's rounds if I can. I catch some of the women's depending when they're playing. And I do still, like, if something crazy happened, I go to Jomez to watch that. I don't often go beyond that. I don't feel like I need to. I don't watch the second or third card, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if they're doing that this year or not, but sad because they're super nice dudes. They actually let me use some of their drone footage for one of the Disc and Deals videos that I did. So, and I reached out, they responded right away. Super, super nice guys. So sad for them. I think they're selling some merch to try to, help them out to cover some of the tournaments they're going to be covering the rest of the year. So if you want to support those guys, go ahead and reach out and see what type of merch they have and throw them a bone here.
Yeah, we talked about cuts they made even last week. If I was somebody like Seth Muncie, I'd be a little concerned that I could be next.
Yeah, any of those guys. I mean
that guy does so many things already. He's like Dion, the dude to go to if you need to rehab something. He's like makes all the decisions on the weather. I don't know how that became a thing. Maybe he's a meteorologist by trade. I don't know. Strange, man. It's if you're not making money and the investors that own the Pro Tour, I'm assuming their number one goal. That's usually why rich guys are rich, because they want to make money.
Yep, no doubt about it. I've been itching to get into this. You've probably all heard about this. But we got to talk about Chandler Kramer and Lonestar. It's not really just Chandler. Lonestar gave the axe to a couple people. I'm not going to read all this. Smitty, if you would like to give a nice little recap of everything that went down, I'm sure people would love to hear it if they have not.
Most I know is sometime before his round at Idlewild, Chandler was told he wasn't going to be able to travel with Robert Burridge anymore, because Robert's in the one of the Lonestar mobiles. So he finished, stored his stuff at a family member's, flew home, got himself a van, and he's traveled all the way back on the road. According to him, Lonestar left him stranded in Kentucky, basically. What that means, I don't know.
And then we had a shared response that was not supposed to be shared, an internal response from, this was sent out to all of the Lonestar people and said, please don't share this. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it on a podcast because we didn't share it, but we are now spreading the word. And this is what they said about Chandler. They said, he's a kid. It's at the end, he had to throw a little jab in, which I didn't think was cool, but he basically said that it didn't happen the way that Chandler made it seem like it happened. They would have, helped him get back. They weren't trying to strand him, all of this stuff. Anything else I missed there, Smitty, on this response?
There's always two sides to a story, right? I don't know Chandler. I don't know these guys. I do happen to have 2 totes of Lonestar. If anybody wants to buy 2, get 1 free, hit me up. But I don't know what the truth is here, and really, it's hard to say, man. A lot has changed. Chandler Kramer wasn't even sponsored by Lone Star. Why would he be traveling in their van,
He
right?
was. He was. They picked him up a couple months into the season.
I thought he was going open bag.
He was, and then they picked him up.
Yeah, and I want to say it was something like, "Hey, you still have our stuff. It makes sense." Something along those lines. But yeah, I'm with you. There's two sides. You don't really know what the truth is. I don't know. The social media posting accusation, we don't know without his contract. From what I observe, almost every one of Chandler's posts, and I don't follow him. I only follow one person on Instagram, and the rest are NASCAR, UFC, Sports Center, just entities. There's the NASCAR plug for the week. But every one of his posts at the end, unless he went back and edited these, he says, check out my sponsors. They're all amazing. Number one is Lone Star, AGL, Class, Discology, Raise Energy, Zone Sporting Goods, Dye Sponsor, Dry Bags, Disc Barn, Team Groundbound, something like that. He puts those in all of them. That's promotion to me. It depends what was in his contract, though. If he really was not upholding what they put in writing, they could rightfully let him go more than likely. I can't imagine that it was asking more than he was doing on social media, though.
Yeah.
But it could be.
Yeah, it just seems like there was some bad blood somewhere. Someone pissed someone off. That's what it sounds like more than anything. The thing that I wonder is, I think Emily's been traveling in that same van, and she's not Lone Star. So, like, why is she not? Why are they saying, Robert, you can't have her in the van?
I don't think they want to make Robert mad because Robert's one of their better players.
Yeah, he's got to be the star of Lone Star at this point, right?
Freddie Meza.
Yeah,
that guy's really good.
Yeah,
Robert. I mean, Nico's on Lone Star, I think.
Oh,
still.
yeah, he
I'm
is.
not sure.
Connor O'Reilly.
Connor, this is first year for Connor. Yeah.
So
yeah, they've got some.
I'm with you though. The whole I was getting ready to go there. The whole thing with that van's got to be crowded if three people are rolling in it. And once again, I don't know if Emily and Robert are truly rolling in that van or not. Well, I mean, Emily said she had her own van at one point.
I will say when she did the interview with us, she was in that van, and they were going down the road. Great interview, by the way.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. That was DDO. So it's a lot of things could have changed.
Bottom line is, without seeing that contract, and we never will, we don't know. And if there's any kind of NDA, we'll never know.
Well, I have a feeling that kid will land on his feet and do the right thing. And all my everything I'm seeing, Lone Star is just digging themselves a hole.
Yeah.
And I mean, I honestly cannot give that stuff away. In fact, I won't give it away. When I donate things to leagues and whatever, I don't want to give somebody something that they're just going to take and give away at the next league. I don't want things passed around. I want to give people something they're going to want and use. So I don't know what I'm going to ever do with it.
Buy one, get four?
But I pay you to take 5. But Chandler wasn't the only one that got the boot. That's Leah Lonestar, I think is how you say her name. I put a picture there because most people may not know who or what she looks like, but pretty much the same story as Chandler's rolling with. She got the call or got the message and said, yep, you're not on our team anymore. So, but what cracked me up here, I thought this was pretty petty. The very last sentence. When she was in town for Texas State, she didn't even drop by the warehouse to say hello. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's enough Lone Star for me for the next 5 months.
That was very interesting. And of course, that was an internal memo, but it just sounds so petty. And it just made, I know it wasn't supposed to be shared, but man, it just left a sour taste in my mouth. I just don't like the way that gentleman spoke. He sounds very entitled, but I mean, he is the owner. But
Dude, that's like, okay, I'm going to tell you something, but you can't tell anybody else. You know they're going to go tell people. Get out of here with that. But let's talk about something that people care about, maybe.
Yeah, let's do it.
At least I do. I was disappointed to see this.
Me too.
That Cole is had to drop out of the World Championships. He played doubles. I saw that. He and his partner finished, but
they didn't finish the second round.
No, they didn't finish the second round.
No,
they shot.
Yeah, I think they had like a double, a par, and a par, and then he was done after 3 holes for the second round.
So yeah, he says he's got a hip issue. He's been battling most of the year, and he's a long ways from home, man. Clear across the United States.
I know. Yeah, that sucks, man. Poor guy.
Well,
I mean, because this
Logan knows this pain. He was on tour once and injured and stuck, couldn't play. So,
oh yeah, and I wasn't reliant on it for my income. Cole is, that's his job, and Cole's a very hard worker. If you've spent any time around him, I mean, he's early in his career, but early in his career, before he was known, he was pretty thin. He was a rail. And he's worked so hard that, yes, I think he's still growing. I think he's so young that he's still getting a little longer, but he's big. Cole looks long and lanky, but when you see, first of all those guys on tour are bigger than you think. Cole's one of them. He's big around. He's solid, and he's worked hard to get there. If you check in on his social media from time to time, he works with professionals. I don't know if they're trainers or physical therapists, but he works extremely hard, and that makes this hurt even worse, I imagine. If you don't work hard and you get hurt, you expect it. Well, I deserve this. Cole works his tail off. He eats very good too. He's diligent. He's an athlete. He acts like a professional athlete on and off the course. And to have this happen at this time is unfortunate. And I think it's worth noting the reason he said Ivy Hill and New London are long, demanding courses. He can throw the disc, but it's the hiking that's going to wear him out and hurt him. So something to keep in mind this weekend. Sometimes it looks like they're just throwing the disc and why can't you execute the shot? I will tell you, tour courses are not your mom and pop park courses. They are gnarly, and you forget that you're watching the best players in the world play the world's toughest courses. They're hard. If you ever get the chance to play one, go. I don't blame Cole one bit because it beats you up.
Yeah, we'll get to the courses in a little bit, but from the little bit I've seen, if you're not in shape, you are doomed this next week. You better have done your work to be ready to play. So, I mean, that golf course is up and down and up and down and long as heck, man.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an awesome week. I can't wait.
It is unfortunate for Cole though, because I think both those courses, suit his game, the way he throws. So long, have to shape shots. He's really good at that. That's a lot of Oregon disc golf there too. So sorry, Cole. But let's jump into our preview of our World Championships this week, starting on Wednesday. They're going to be in Lynchburg, or I think it's Forest, Virginia. And I'm excited, bro. I'm excited for this one. Have you got to do a Worlds, Logan?
Yeah, I played in 2 of them. I played in Utah, and then when it came to Emporia.
Okay. Yeah, so tell me how you think tell me how excited you are to see these courses, maybe some you haven't seen before, and maybe some insight on how some of these players might be feeling mentally.
Yeah, it's, when you step out on tour as a rookie, they tell you it's just disc golf, play your game, all that stuff. But there's a difference from a C tier to a B tier to an A tier to Silver Series to Elite. And then there's majors. And while your objective doesn't change, put the disc in the basket, you feel it. It's a major. This is what matters. And to a smaller scale, to what I do, I really don't care about C tiers. I want B and A tiers. A tiers really get me excited. I think there are certain players that come alive at majors. I think there are guys that have been doing it long enough that even the Elite Series, they want to win, but majors are the ones they really want. And I remember, I think it's called Sirius, the Alan Parsons project, the Chicago Bulls entrance song. They played that while they were introducing them in Utah, and I got goosebumps. And they said from Valley Center, Kansas, Logan Harpool. And I don't know if it was just the theatrics or what, but that was my first tee off in a world championship, and I had chills. And
how was your shot?
I think I birdied. I played all right at the fort. Yeah, okay. I fell apart as the week went on.
Occasion a little bit. Okay.
Oh, I was shaking. Yeah, and I knew in the back of my mind I'm not winning this. I knew it. But I did finish inside the top 50. I finished 46th or something like that. But it's different. It's so different, and it's so cool to see the guys and girls that are built for it. You find out who the real winners are and who the people that get excited about the highest level of competition. Everyone's going to feel nerves, but the people that look at nerves as a good thing are the ones that excel. They channel that. And it's like Paul said after 17 here in Emporia, that big putt, he said, I just had to will it in. That's what the greats do. When it matters, they rise up and they make stuff happen.
Yeah, exactly. And Smitty, you're going to be at work. You're not going to get to sit down and really dive into this stuff.
Hey, I'm going to be too.
Well,
I'm a teacher too.
Get out of here.
What are they're 2 hours ahead of us?
NASCAR, I'm sure.
So they'll be teeing off about 1:00.
Yeah.
So the men, yeah. So I'll have to race home and watch it for sure. But to go with what Logan's saying, there's 2 tournaments a year that these dudes really, really want to win. I mean, there's other majors as well, but I feel like USDGC is one that is like a notch above all the rest of them, at least for me, because it's got the most history at the same place every single year. But then even above that is the Professional World Championships. It might not be the biggest payout, but I mean, good Lord, man, I couldn't imagine being the pro world champion, especially at this day and age, or any day and age for that matter. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. It is just going to be a killer week. That is 100% for sure.
Yeah. Well, we've already had some things happen this week, so let's kind of cover what's already happened. We had the long drive contest.
Well, I tell you, we were all probably pretty sure that Anthony was going to be at the top. I was a little shocked that Ezra was only 7 feet behind him. Mm-hmm. Those are 2 pretty big pumps. And it did look like they were throwing off of the hill to me in the few clips that I saw. But damn, I could throw off a mountain and not get 700 feet. That is far. Yeah. And then the ladies, I was really shocked. I didn't realize that Heidi Line had that much bomb. So that's really cool. But the one thing that shocked me the most about these results is not the names that are on the list. Other than Blake Whitehead, I would have picked those other 5 guys to probably be on there. But Eagle McMahon, 492 feet.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, man. The Eagle that I know and love watching is that dude, effortless distance, 500 in his back pocket all the time on flat ground. So I just don't know if this dude is right.
That sounds like he cooked it over. You could be onto something, but 200 feet back, his backhand, from what I understand, wasn't harmed. I'd say he cooked it over.
Could be.
I'm sure they get 5 throws or something.
Yeah,
I'm doubting it was a one and done type deal. But
when you're saying names, I'm thinking FPO. Where was Holland?
Yeah, and I mean, Ellie Ezra won last year. She's almost 100 feet back.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's
Ella
supposed to,
doesn't.
though.
Ella doesn't surprise me. Jessica doesn't surprise me.
I don't even know who Taylor is.
I don't either.
I think she's a tall, skinny blonde chick. I saw a video of some tall, skinny blonde girl just flat ripping.
I mean, over 500. I mean, it's super impressive. So shout out to Taylor, who I've never heard of. I'll have to look her up. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, and all these dudes, we know they're big bombers. I'm happy to see Thomas Gilbert up there. We talked about him not being around much last week. So pretty good stuff.
I think
not only were they go ahead.
I want to see this not in a field. I want to see it in another sporting venue to put it in perspective. If they stood at home plate of a big league ballpark, those are flying out of the stadium easily.
Yeah.
Like for dead center field, you say, oh, that's an absolute shot when they take them to dead center. That's a putter for these guys. 400 feet. Almost 700 feet. I don't know where they could do it that would give people a perspective of how far that really is. But go measure 400 and try to throw it. Then you can start understanding how far this is. Smitty, you've been playing a lot longer than me. 7-8 years ago, were people throwing this far in distance showcases?
I don't remember what Scott Stokely's world record was when he had both with the forehand and backhand at the same time, but that wasn't nearly 700 feet.
Oh, it's insane.
I do think it was maybe 600 though. So I think the perfect venue would be one where if there was wind, I think you want wind when you're throwing distance. I think it would be ideal if you could rotate which direction you threw. You could pick, because let's say you get up on the tee pad and the wind's right to left. Well, all righties are going to have a hard time getting a distance shot where a lefty can burn one over and ride that wind out. So if you could throw any direction, and maybe a baseball field is what you need. And you see these guys, like you say, jacking these homers out, and they always know how far they're going. Mm-hmm. I don't know if how they trace that. I don't know if they
500 foot home runs that land in the upper deck are jaw dropping. And these are going to fly 200 feet past, maybe not with the height, but as the crow flies 200 more feet.
Yeah.
And with less velocity. Baseballs are coming off at 120, 130 and decelerating. These discs are leaving 85, 90. Maybe. I didn't see a radar gun. Still insanely fast, but 30 miles per hour different and going further. And they're only going to start throwing harder as time goes on.
That'd be great, man. Maybe you could do someplace like the Big House or something. Just a huge stadium.
I mean, stadiums won't even hold them. A football, you get an AT&T Stadium, It's a 9-iron from end to end. Pitching wedge.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be cool to see just how far that was compared to other sports for sure. And
but yeah,
it would
definitely
then maybe appeal to people outside of disc golf too. Like you tell somebody that some dude threw a frisbee 700 feet, they're gonna be like, "What? Yeah, dude, 2 football fields."
Yeah. Almost 2 football fields. Yeah.
Pretty crazy. They were only dropping bombs; they were putting them in the bucket as well.
Well, FPO wasn't a surprise, but maybe a surprise on the MPO side.
That dude's a fantastic putter, man. Look at all the names up there.
But number 2?
That's the one that shocks me.
Me too.
I saw a video and he was saying that he had to make his last 6 and he canned him and he was really excited. So
he's using that new Stokely putter too. The Ren.
Owl. The Ren?
Yeah, I think. That's sick.
But look, tied for 3rd.
Yeah, there he is. He's putting fine.
So,
is he older than you?
Stokely?
Yeah.
Yeah, way older.
Dang. Look at him. Look at him competing.
I'm looking at the list of guys right now to see who was in it and who wasn't. Gannon Burr was in it. That's surprising. There was no Rick.
And Gannon did terrible. He was way down the list, so I don't know what happened. Maybe they're putting on ching baskets.
Different format, maybe, too. Oh.
His first round, 28 to the leader's 45. So, yeah, he was a ways back.
Though, you have a couple bum stations. Does he even try at that point? If you're out of it, who cares, right? You just start doing whatever you can to maybe have some fun. But I saw a couple videos. It looked a little weird, the things they were doing. They were putting from a stump that was 15 feet from the basket. I saw them putting they had to do a putt that a lot of them were jump putting, and there was a sawed off stump in front of them. They had places where it looked like maybe they wanted to try to force a straddle putt, and dudes are putting normal. So, in my opinion, if you're going to do a putting competition, you should set the stations up where you have putts that you have to make. Like Logan, remember when we would do it at Newton in the gym? We had that putt where you had to get down and putt underneath that low post.
Yep,
that's a skill.
Had to air bounce and had to get real crafty.
That's skill for sure. We had a station where you had to putt from behind something that came up to higher than you could normally putt, so it kind of forced you to do a turbo putt. That to me would be a true gauge of putting if you had to take things like that into consideration.
Is anybody surprised that Owen won?
No,
not one bit.
No, she's nuts.
Dominant fashion too, 8 points. But Cadence is newer to the tour, and then Eliezer. I think those are two names that I would be shocked at. Sarah Gilpin's a fantastic putter. I'm not surprised there. And Stinscombe, I'm maybe surprised with her too.
Yeah, I'm surprised with her. I've never seen her name on any leaderboard. And if you're a good putter, you should be able to putt yourself. Yeah. Look at Owen. Owen's a good thrower, but she also putts herself to a lot of wins. Speaking of putting herself to wins, Joel effing Freeman.
There he is. Your favorite.
I'll never pick that guy ever in any game, ever. Back-to-back world doubles champions. 31 down on 36 holes.
Yeah. That's pretty nice.
That's crazy. And they played both rounds out at the New London Technical College. It was the women's layout, so big advantage if you have these guys that can mash on par fives. But yeah, they beat Silver and Kristen, and you can watch this. All the doubles coverage is on the PJ side. I watched the first round. I haven't watched the second round, but
yeah, Vinny and Macy, they jumped up nearly 20 spots to get into fourth, so I thought that was pretty cool. I think Joel and Owen were third after the first round, so yeah, they had a 13 under, I think, final round to make them win by 3. So pretty impressive. When you have someone that's going to hit most of their putts, that gives you a kind of a green light. And we got some scores. I didn't know this.
Yeah, that's the top 10 teams on round 1. There is a lot of green.
Yeah. Imagine shooting 15 down and you're in a tie for 10th.
Yeah, because you had to shoot 20 down to be leading.
20 down is crazy.
20 down. Right. But if you look at this, they had an eagle on 18, an eagle on 17, an eagle on 9, an eagle on 5. You should go watch the first round if you haven't. Gannon absolutely parks 3 just incredible holes, and I know it's the women's layout, but I have to assume the men's basket is only, in most cases at New London, 100 to 150 feet farther, if even that. If you get that kid to within 150 feet of any basket, guaranteed up and down,
Yeah.
he's going to find a way to get there. So, I mean, that has to be. It's making me think about my pick I've been on all year long. So, incredible stuff, though, man. 20 down in one round.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah, stupid.
Dumb. Let's talk about these courses. Lucas, what have you watched anything?
I watched a little of the doubles round with Goose and Ezra and Paul and Hamas. And then I
did
watched a little
not
bit
watch
of it.
that.
Oh, you didn't? It's
I
good.
didn't know that was out.
Yeah, it just came out today. Yeah, it was pretty good. So I got to watch a little bit of Ivy Hill. So I got to see the first 9. And there's some OB.
Every single hole, man, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
And I just as we were coming on, I checked YouTube and I saw Rick had New London video. So I'll probably go sit on the back patio and watch that when we get done here, because I really enjoy Rick's take on the courses. He doesn't ever talk about course design. He doesn't ever talk about anything. He just talks about what he's going to do and how he's going to pull it off. And then son of a gun does it. So, Logan, did you take any of it in yet?
Oh, yeah. I've been watching as much as I can. I watched the Battle for Bedford from a few years ago, and I like it. When I made my decision to step away from the Pro Tour and, play more at my level, I was content until this weekend. I wish I was there. They look like so much fun. Even with the OB at Ivy Hill, like you guys said, that elevation is such a game changer. And being a kid from Kansas, the first time I played Great Lakes Open, I remember one time I was out to putt and I told the cart, I need a minute, boys. I got to get my air here. I'm not used to climbing. So it would beat me up, but New London looks amazing. That's the style of wooded golf I like. There's no poke and hope. It's a fair way to hit. You know where you need to throw it. And if you don't, looks like you're in for a world of hurt. But it's I don't think there's any secrets. I think they've been there. They had enough practice time. They know where they need to be. Everything's staked. Everything looks professional. I think this one was put together pretty well.
I need to go back and watch that stuff on Terry Miller's of the Battle of Bedford to look at the New London course and see how much it's changed, because I was under the assumption it was really tight, really super wooded. But after everything I've watched this week, like you're saying, if you stay in the middle, you're going to score there. And these guys are going to stay in the middle. The guys who are on are going to be down the pipe and in the perfect placement all the time. There are a few holes on the back 9 that are a little bit more poke and hope, but the front 9, it looks like maybe those trails were there for something other than disc golf at one point, because it looks like you could drive vehicles down, but it looks awesome, man. It looks fun to play.
Kristen's tee shot on 1, if you watch the doubles, perfect hyzer flip. So cool to watch. I've always thought it's more fun to watch a backhand master in the woods than someone like me with both spins. I'll skip or spike a forehand to go right, but someone that can start on hyzer, get it flat, get it to turn, that's so much fun to watch. And I think we're going to see a lot of that, because in doubles, if people were able to force things over, I think they would have been. I think some of those holes demand a hyzer flip, and I'm going to repeat myself, but I don't think there's anything more pretty to watch in disc golf than a hyzer flip down the middle in the woods.
Yeah, that thing's 400 feet, and she straight parked it.
Yeah.
Did you see Gannon's shot after her?
Mm-hmm.
That was dumb.
Yep.
Looked like a flippy mid-range that he barely threw. It landed on hyzer, and hyzer skipped and was 18 feet maybe. He made it look so easy. I think those bleachers are going to be a problem, though. I think somebody's going to take one in the grill right there. That's too close to that.
No doubt.
that green, like somebody goes up there and burns a flick down there. But yeah, I'm excited to watch it play out. Let's look at a few holes on the Ivy Hill. I think there's a few holes there that are a little sus, in my opinion. Let's start with hole 4. All right, so the map makes it look like you can throw an Anheuser or a flick and stay over the fairway the whole way, but these trees cut all of this to the left off. Like, you can kind of stay over there, but you got to attack it. And all that yellow is hazard. So if you land in the yellow, you just putt with a stroke. Yeah. The basket is like 5 feet from hay bales. There's hay bales here at the end of it, straight down slope to OB. Okay, so all OB goes to the drop zone, which is an 80-foot death putt, which is absolute layup for everybody there. So I don't know what I think about this hole, man. I think the miss is I think as the week goes on, they play this place 3 times. I think we're going to see people trying to throw it into the hay bales because it's a 20-foot putt for 3.
Yeah, Ezra and Gossage were throwing spike hyzers out to the right and swinging them in. And I think even one of those hit the hay bales and came up short because they don't want to pump it long into those trees. It's mean. I mean, you're going to find out who the best players in the world are when you throw stuff like this at them. I'm not so worried about the distance. 392, that everybody's got that in the tank. It's that slope of that green. You can't throw mid. You can't throw anything with air. You have to throw something that is moving side to side at the end of the flight. And if it rains and that grass is slick, oh, good luck.
Yeah, the closest shot they had was Ezra skipping over the hay bales, which might become the play that they do. I don't know, man. It's I almost think it's almost backwards. I feel like the hazard should be on the other side and the OB should be short of it.
Yeah, so. Adam Hamas today, because they, like I said, that just came out. He threw a big, like, spiking forehand that stuck, and he was parked. But he had to really play with those trees on the left-hand side. So
it looks like something you'd see in Rock Hill. Looks like a USDGC hole.
Yeah, it's 17. It's very similar, right? Hay bales. You just have a safe zone.
But that's not a pump. 17 at USDGC is a little chip.
Yeah, you're right.
And if you hit the green there, I guess you can skip off the back, but this thing is really sloped down too.
It is.
It's gonna ruin some people's day.
Yeah.
Hole 5. I will bet you guys a cherry limeade that we see fewer than 5 birdies on this thing. Par 4 for the men, 762 feet. An absolute bomb gets you to the flat spot. Anything short of that bomb, you're throwing uphill.
Yeah. This
OB in the middle is a big tree. You're gonna have to. They're gonna have to hit a line and have it. It turns way more right than what this map looks like.
It does. Ezra was going spike hyzer on the second.
They might have been farther left. They might have been trying to go around the tree to the left of the tree there too. But I just don't think we're going to see a lot of birdies on it. Like I said, I think we're going to have 5 or fewer in the 3 rounds they play.
All right, I'll take you on that one.
Sweet.
This is where players just have to get in their mind that par does not matter. You just got to be one better than the next guy at the end of the weekend. And if somebody gets wild, if it's a 762-foot hole, I always tell myself, hey, if you're going to 2 it, or if it's a hard 3, if you're going to 3 it, I'll shake your hand. Great job. Let's go play 70-something more holes. It's only one. And the last thing you want to do is bogey or double bogey par 5s for the women. 4s. I mean, 4s sting for the guys too. But
I
man.
think we're going to see a lot of people play from the middle, try to get around that tree, lay it up, walk away the 4. I mean, we might see somebody throw a cheeky bid in and get it, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
For sure. And the like you said, the uphill on that makes that even tougher. And if you try to go that inside gap, they were going, on the right-hand side of that, whatever that middle section is, you have to either go hyzer or you have to really, really pump a forehand. So, yeah, I definitely think your number is a really good number, 5. I just think it's going to be maybe one more than that. So it's going to be close.
So you're taking the over.
Exactly.
I'm just checking.
Go ahead.
I'm checking weather real quick. Sorry, I've talked over you guys a couple times. I'm just getting so excited for Worlds, but I'm checking weather for Lynchburg, and it looks like they're getting really lucky. I was thinking if it's windy, you're especially looking at these holes playing really hard, but wind isn't supposed to get over 4 to 5 miles per hour. Temperatures highs are 77, 79, 83, 86, 88. I don't think weather's going to be a factor.
Yeah, I hope not, because this course will kill people if it's windy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Hole 6. Oh my gosh. You talk about dumb holes.
Why do you hate it so much?
It's 30 feet wide.
It's
30 feet. And it's not straight like this picture shows. You got to bend around these trees to the left. It's skinny.
Yeah, it's super skinny. And Macbeth threw a Malta because it's downhill a little bit, right? And Macbeth threw a Malta, thought it was perfect, OB. Hamas, same thing, OB. So, yeah,
Well,
it's super tight.
340. They can throw mid ranges at it all day long, but man, if you go OB, you better go OB by the pin. You don't want to be quarter of the way down the fairway OB and not coming back. Or yeah, it's not a fan of this one, man. I can live with 5. I think the only thing wrong with 7 is it's going to be impossible to get a birdie. It's still a good hole.
Yeah.
But this is bad. We'll see how it plays.
Logan, what do you think about 6? I don't necessarily despise it. I think it's like a good challenge for speed control. I think that's fun.
Fun, yeah. Fun. Lots of fun. I'm going to go the route of zero sympathy and say you're the best players in the world. You've had 2 weeks to prepare. You should know the shot you're throwing before you step up. And I'm looking at it from a 1,006 rated perspective. That's daunting. We're talking guys that are 1050, 1040, 1030.
Yeah.
And women that are upper 970s, 980s. These are the best players in the world. The hole is hard. And if you're blocking out the commentary and the Ezra and Gossage videos, they get pretty critical of course design. They don't filter themselves.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as this T sign. None of these 3 are as easy as a T sign makes them look. It doesn't account for elevation. It looks, 341. I can throw a Warden down the middle and I'll be parked. No, that's not the case. But once again, we forget these are the best players on the planet, and they are really, really good.
I heard rumor that they widened the fairway.
Oh, really? Oh.
We'll see. We'll see.
Right.
Which
well,
would
let's
be
look
kind
at a few other
of
holes.
weird. Yeah, let's do. Huh.
This one is tough. So this whole hole, it's not just the green, which is incredibly hard. This hole in general is hard.
It's gonna ruin some dudes' day.
It is.
And some ladies' day. Looks like same tee, huh?
Yep.
Just changing
the par.
So it's downhill off the tee. So let's give them 550. 550 to a little sliver of good spot. They're looking at 300 feet into this this green. You have to throw it at it and hope that you stay up there. Right? You're dumb if you don't, I think, because what's the worst that can happen? It rolls down the hill. Now, I don't know if this tall grass up behind here is OB. I know there's OB short of it here it looks like it is on the map. But I think you have to throw it into the hill. If you just try to lay it to the bottom of these stairs, what are you going to do there?
Yeah, you don't want to park it. You're going to gouge your disc, and that's going to give you a nasty reaction. My first thought when I'm throwing into a slope, I always get questions on this. When I throw into a slope, I throw with the slope. I would not want to throw a backhand into this where it knifes in, because I feel like that's just going to catch edge and roll. I would want to throw a forehand in that is fading right so it matches the slope and it sits a little easier. But like Smitty said, you're looking at 450 to 500 feet in. No one's going to be doing that. You're going to send it, and I don't know what my game plan would be. Get it to the sidewalk, and if the wind's down and I feel good, send it and hope I don't hit something and roll. I don't know.
Dude, there's going to be so many people putting from that sidewalk and a little bit farther from discs that roll down that hill and curl back. I'll bet you that most of them are going to be laying that thing up. That thing is so steep and those rocks are so unpredictable. Even a layup could go wrong from the bottom of that hill. Your best bet is to lay it up past the pin in the tall grass in the grass to have a chance that even maybe it rolls, it catches a rock. But oh my gosh.
Do you think this plays as the hardest hole at Ivy Hill on the week?
Over par?
Yeah, like the toughest hole.
No.
I mean, because it's a 4, it's probably going to save it.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of people that will just take a 4.
Yeah, it'll be because just like you think people are going to just lay up. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Hopefully. I do think that this one might play as the hardest hole.
Dude, this is a tough island. And I'm telling you, and this is kind of what you guys were saying, is the map doesn't do it justice. Like, it's showing, there's a little, I mean, those trees are out over the water. You have to hit such a specific line to get it. And then that island is so small. Do you think people are going to lay up?
If they want to win, they'll lay up the first 2 times.
It's crazy. I can't remember the distance on this one. I covered it up.
365, I think.
Yeah, it's not short.
But it's not long either.
That's true.
I think,
downhill too, I think a little bit.
I think you send it. I think you send it. I think you go for it.
Do you have to go to the drop zone?
Yeah, all OB goes to the drop zone. Which
so you back across the water.
But that's not far. That's chip shot, I'm assuming, all day long for most people. But yeah, I mean, I guess you're just giving up a stroke if you look at it that way, right? You go for it. If you stay on there, you probably get the 2. The island's that small. If you go off, you go back and you maybe. But man, I do not want to watch the last round of the World Championships come into this hole and see some dude throw a B and another dude lay up, chip across, and get a stroke on him.
Yeah, and that would happen 1,000%.
What's the alternative? Do you the trees trimmed up a little more to make that landing more fair, like that weeping? I don't know. Is that a weeping willow? It's just a sad looking tree. That low hanger on the left, I mean, you're not sweeping in from either side. And there's OB. I want to say that OB's inside the circle long. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
I think the pond and I feel like the pond and the little island and everything here are cool. I don't like the fact that the hole itself is 366. If this was a 700-foot hole and you threw towards the water, and then you had varying lengths to go over to the green, then I think you have a cool, exciting hole. I'm now 200 out with a bad angle. Do I still go for it, or do I lay up and then go for it type deal? Kind of like the hole at a European Open where they do that big long up shot, and then they had to decide if they're in position to go over the water or what they wanted to do. I think something like that. Now, I don't know the lay of the land. I do know that road right in front of there, every time I've watched somebody play it, a car has been driving across it, and they just throw right over it. So,
yeah.
Do you guys like the stakes near the water? Because I'm thinking skip shot, honestly, but I don't want to hit a stake, and I don't want to jam it in the bank and still be OB.
And that looks like a pretty good incline off the water too. I don't know if you can skip it. Plus, do they skip off of moss? Because there looks like there's a lot of moss on there too. I know what Logan would be doing. Logan would be frogging if he was there, watching NASCAR and frog, and this redneck would be in heaven.
There's probably some in there, but I don't know how you access it.
Well,
I think Goose went Spikeiser or backhand Spikeiser and was out of bounds right. Didn't quite make it, but I think it was accessible. So I think you might see some Spikeisers as well. But it's going to be tough. I'm really interested to see how it plays. But you're right. It would be just so stupid if you got a tie ball game coming in, first person on the tee goes for it, and you get the layup. Cool. Great way to end it. Yeah. Very interesting how that hole is going to play out. But now let's get in to the real meat and potatoes, which is our picks for Worlds. We're going to jump into that segment now. Bum ba da dum. Weekly picks, Worlds edition.
Oh, man, the sound effects we're getting these days.
Oh, man.
That 86 cents we made last month was well invested.
That should be on Police Academy. All right. So, who won last week? Smitty? You did. So why don't you start us out?
Fine. You ready?
Yeah, what are we going with?
You already know who my shine is.
Let's go there then.
Calvin flippin' Heinberg.
Okay, you didn't change. You're still going.
No. Man of my word. Dude, there's no reason. I mean, Vinny, if you're listening, which you're probably not, putt 3 inches higher. Okay. So that's it. If that dude can just clean up his putts, he can throw the disc straight. He can throw the disc a mile. He's going to destroy New London with his Eagles. Hopefully he doesn't have bad breaks on Ivy, whatever it is. But yeah, that's my dude. I'm sticking with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough not to. We talked about this guy last week for me, and I'm sticking to my guns. I think he's due, especially after that putting performance. We're going to go Ezra Robinson.
I'd like to see it.
He can shape the disc so well. I didn't want to pick him because I didn't want to curse him, but I truly think he has a real shot here at winning.
What a story that would be. His brother wins last year, and then he would win this year. That'd be fantastic.
It'd be so cool.
Logan, who are you going with?
I would love to see Ezra. I would like to see Calvin get a major. My brother and I make picks for fights all the time, and there's always your heart and your head. Your heart, who you want to win, and your head, who you think will win. I will never, ever vote against Paul McBeth at Worlds. I could say that about all majors, but especially at Worlds. I think at this point in his career, that might be the only thing that gets him excited to play the game. I think he still wants to win. The drive is there, but he's amping it up tenfold this weekend. Not because it's he designed it. Did he design? Did
New
he?
London.
Yeah, New London.
I know he lived there and he had a hand in it. All that aside, Paul McBeth at Worlds is a different Paul McBeth. I'll never vote against him at Worlds.
Goat.
All right. I like the pick. I mean,
dude,
if it happens, I would be stoked. I just don't think it's going to happen.
You might be surprised. Cool, he's going to be in the mix.
If it happens, Logan, I got a cherry limeade for you.
All right.
What about Melvin?
Are we doing the sleeper one? Sleeper pick?
Oh, yeah. We're going to do a stink one, too.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay.
Why don't you start? Since you're so eager beaver.
Which one?
Whatever you want.
Okay, sleeper.
Okay.
He's been a little quiet. He's a champion on the Elite Series, but he always shows up at majors. Nicholas.
Same. Oh, Antilla.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I like that. I thought you
Major.
were going,
No, Major Nicholas is a different Nicholas. Telling you.
The boy you want your sister to date. That's what they call him over there. Who you got, Lucas? Who's your sleeper?
Well, I've got someone that's trending in the right direction. Been a little quiet start of the year. Throws incredibly far. Can shape some shots a little bit. If his putt's working, we're going to be working. I'm going double G. Just wait. Just wait.
Hasn't this burnt you before?
No, that was Ed. Oh. Ed and a Survivor. I would never pick Garrett usually, but I just feel something deep inside.
Yeah, I bet. Logan talked about Paul McBeth and the guy that shows up at the World Championships. I'm going with the dude who was playing in Final Nines before Paul McBeth was even on the scene. And he played in, I think 4 or 5 in a row. Roll time.
Oh, Matty O. I guess I forget he's, yeah.
The A-Rod jersey, right?
Yep.
2010.
And I watched this Final Nine in Kansas City, and it was flipping awesome. When Avery won over Josh Anton. I forget who the fourth guy was. Maybe it was Nate. I don't remember. But I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Matty O shred it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, well, I'm going to start us off with stink. And my stink, we talked about him a little bit earlier. Something's just not right. Not throwing far. He putted okay, but I don't think Eagles are going to play well this World's Championship.
I think that's a bad stink pick, though, because he hasn't had a good year.
He's still only averaging 24th. So, I mean, that's still like where I think he's going to end up finishing, I think I'll still have a good chance.
I went with the guy who's had one heck of a year. I think he's going to have some problems here because he can throw it far enough when he has room to work the disc. He's not going to have a lot of room to work the disc at the New London Tech, and you're going to have to throw far at Ivy Hill. And I don't want him to stink, but based on his performance all year, how good he's been. Sorry, Luke Humphreys.
Man. Sorry, Luke.
We just lost 8 fans in Wichita.
All All right, Logan. Who is your stink? Bring us home.
I'm literally going down the list looking for someone. But I go back to Worlds and Emporia. So I'll preface this by saying more people have a shot to win than you think. Because did anybody expect Gossage to take Paul to that playoff? It's all about who gets hot. This is probably shooting myself in the foot because I think he'll probably play well. He's closer to home. But Simon.
I went back and forth between him and Eagle.
I think something. I don't know what it is. That tight OB. But he's played. Man, that's a bad stink pick. He's going to play good. I said it.
Wins.
God.
I hope he wins.
You know what happens, Logan, if he wins. Do you remember?
Yep. I got you.
Oh, good. I love their chicken fried steak.
I love the rolls, baby.
Oh, yeah, those too. But those are free. I'm going to make Logan pay some money.
Well, you can't just go in there and eat rolls for free. You're going to have to buy something. So they're not free.
You can get a Dr. Pepper.
Dude, you go in there and try to get a Dr. Pepper and eat rolls. They're kicking your ass out. I guess we'll see next Monday who's the best picker.
Yeah. But I'm excited.
We got to play my game I made up.
What's your game?
My game is called Yes or No.
Okay.
I'm going to go down the list of men. No debate, no reason. I'm simply going to say, can this guy win the world title? And you're going to say yes, or you're going to say no.
This is going to be dumb. Logan just said, oh, there's so many people that can win. He's just going to say yes on every one.
I probably will. Lucas, you can do this one. You got my answer. Anybody gets hot, they're a world champ.
I guarantee you there's going to be some you don't say no, or you're going to say no to.
I will.
And I went down to a very specific rating because there was one guy that I feel like I had to go that far for. So I wanted to go 10. 10 didn't get me enough. 20 was too many. So here we go.
Okay.
I'm going to start at the top. Gannonburger. Yes. Yes, and yes, and yes, right? Richard Wysocki.
Yes.
Yes. Vinny.
He's injured.
Yes.
Yep.
Can Chris Dickerson win Worlds?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this suits his game.
I think he could. Would you believe Matty O is the next in line based on ratings?
I would say Matty-O can play well. I don't think Matty-O can win.
I think he can. That's why I picked him.
You just picked him as a sleeper, though.
The way the question is asked, can they win?
Will he win?
Well, you already picked him as your stink.
No, he picked him as sleeper.
Yeah, I picked him as my sleeper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Matty-O has a shot to win.
Absolutely. Isaac Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paul McBeth.
Yep.
Yes. Ezra Robinson. Probably.
Yep. 100%.
Yep.
Little Nick.
Yep.
That's my first no.
Probably.
Little Nick can't win.
Nicholas?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, he can.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle with him.
Little Nick cannot win.
Okay.
Kyle Klein.
I almost picked him for a shine. I think he truly can.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Top 10, but can't win.
He's got major experience. Lost it in the playoff, came back and won it. He knows what he's doing on that stage.
Maybe. He's not going to win. Simple Simon.
No.
I think he could.
He can. 100%.
Okay, now we're going to get into some fun ones.
Am I on the list?
You're not playing.
So no.
Anthony Barella.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he can just put himself there. Yeah. I mean, he has all the skill to win.
If he can channel early year Anthony Barella, yes.
Yep.
He's been struggling as of late. The proctologist.
No.
Unfortunately, I'm going no.
And I think he's still injured. Logan, is this your first no?
No, I already told you guys I'm going to say yes to everybody because this is why we're so blessed to be watching disc golf in 2024 because there are so many guys that can win. The course he won over.
I'm gonna say yes to all of these guys. I'm almost.
Does he have a chance to win? Yes, it's the same style of course he won in Europe.
Okay.
All right.
Andrew Marweed.
No.
Nope.
Dude, he's really good. They're so good.
He's the best putter ever.
All those guys are so good.
But he can't win.
I didn't know that. I didn't think Gossage would be runner-up either.
Did Gossage win?
Dang near.
Yeah, great. Tristan Tanner was leading the tournament.
Hey, podium finish.
True. Okay. European Jake, Jakub.
Nah.
Nope.
Sorry, Jakob.
I'll lean no just because of the experience.
I knew we'd get him.
Yeah, Logan. Let's go, Logan.
I don't know. Experience, winning. You have to know how to win, and then you have to know how to win at that level.
We're currently at the last rating.
Okay.
So all these people that I'm about to share with you have the same rating. Starting with this guy. Eagle McMahon.
I mean, no. Old Eagle, yeah. Not MVP Eagle, an injured Eagle.
The dude won the European Open with one shot. He was seriously injured then. He's on the recovery and eating hamburgers now. He can win.
All right.
Yep.
Logan?
Yep, he can win. He just putted really good too.
Yep, he did.
Gavin Babcock.
This is another one where I'm like kind of with Logan. Like, I think you have to know how to win. I don't think he's really done that yet. But I say that all just to say I think, yeah, maybe.
He can't win.
I like the guy.
Me too.
That's more heart than anything. I'm going with the heart here.
Here's why I can't elaborate as to why I think that. It's just yes or no.
Okay. Yes.
He always has 2 or 3 bad holes, and 2 or 3 bad holes here is going to be
it's true.
A lot of strokes.
I remember when his putter got hot at Champions Cup last time they had it in Augusta or wherever, Appling. That was a major.
Yep. You don't have to look much farther than Beaver State Fling. He was incredible there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about there. Lowry Lettinen.
See ya. No, not on American soil.
This guy flipping shocked me. Evan Smith.
Mine too.
Whichever one he is of those 3 dudes, can he win? No, he can't win.
Dude, this course suits his game so well.
No, he cannot win.
I would say we got a top 10 out of him. Probably not a win, but would you, Cherry Lime, made a top 10?
Sure.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
Are you writing all these down? Because that's like 8 cherry limeades on the line.
Sorry, this was just if he gets a top 10, you give me a cherry limeade. This is not a bet.
Oh, what a good deal for me. Okay, this is my last one at this rating.
All right.
Luke Taylor.
He's a kid, man. He's super young, isn't he? He's younger. Yeah, I think he's super young. No, he can't win.
He cannot win.
What rating are we at? Is that like 1025?
1032.
Luke Taylor's 1032?
Yep.
I know he's good.
He's like
32.
18, isn't he?
He's young.
I mean, we're saying
Can't
that
win.
all, and then Gannon is right there, so whatever.
Can't win.
No, he can't.
Yeah, probably.
So that's the end of my list for that. But that leaves out dudes like Aaron Gossage, Gavin Rathbun, Joey Buckets, Bradley Williams, Prezi, Joel frickin' Freeman, Corey Ellis, major winner. Crazy. So yeah, that was down to the 1032s. I think is like 15 dudes. All right.
That's fun. Thanks,
Well,
man.
we got to do the ladies. We can't leave them out.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it.
And let's see, how far was I going down? I wanted to go down to right there. All right. Is there any way Kristen Tatar does not win?
It's going to be tough to beat her.
She wins. Right?
Yeah.
She wins.
I think.
By 5 or more.
Oh,
maybe.
you're saying that? I don't.
I just feel like if you watched her in the doubles, dude, she looked
I didn't
so
see her.
freaking good. She was killing it. She was carrying silver to second place. Yeah.
But yeah, she's definitely the front runner, no doubt about it.
Owen Scoggins.
See, I think she is. When you putt like that, you always have a chance.
Yep.
The only thing that scares me about saying she could win is she throws a lot of fast frisbees. And fast and these slopes and these OBs, and could easily end up in a lot of extra rollaways and stuff like that. But I'm going to say she can win, and she may win because she's always in it. Always. Holland Handley.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. She's just such a good thrower of the disc.
Can't win.
If her putter is like it was that one tournament she won, watch out.
Oh, the one where Kristen Tatar wasn't there
Stop.
and owned through the worst shot she's ever thrown on hole 17, that tournament?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. If the stars realign again, she could win. I'll change my answer. Evelina Salonen.
No. No. With those greens, Evelina has no shot.
Bull crap, dude. She'll lay up. She will lay up when the
Okay.
other chicks will not.
You know,
she
that
can
is
win.
that's very true. That's a very valid statement. Okay. You've talked me into it. I'm going to say yes. She has
She's
a
going
shot.
to throw the disc where she wants, and when she's not close enough to make it, she'll lay up every single time. She could win. I'm not going to say she will win, but she could. Big Money Missy.
She's great in the woods, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
She could win it.
Yep.
Who I think is the most talented woman on tour? Haley
Oh.
King.
I knew you knew. The answer is no. With those greens, if her putt's not on,
Her
no.
putt will be on.
If it's not, bro, she shoots herself in the foot more than anyone.
Wrong. Paige Pierce.
They go neck and neck.
Silva.
Mm-hmm.
She just doesn't throw far, but it is closer.
Far enough.
She putts so well. We're going to say yeah.
Yeah, of course.
She's not beating Kristen, though.
Hannah Bloomrose.
Does she lay up ever? She doesn't. If she lays up, yes.
She can't win. She does too many weird things that happen at weird times. Logan, did you say yes or no? You're kind of being quiet, like you think it's going to get back to him.
No, it's not that. I've seen too many crazy things happen.
So you think yes?
He just doesn't
Everybody at
want
the
to say
top of
yes
the
every
game.
time.
That's the thing I was going to address. I'll bring it up later to further
Okay.
my point here.
Okay.
Okay, I got 2 more on the ladies' list.
All right.
Ella Hansen.
No.
Can't win.
No.
Can't win. We've seen what happens when she should win.
Yeah. She chose. No offense, Ella.
Really, there's probably only one that can win once again. Okay,
Yes.
my last one.
Okay.
I would love this one to win. I would love so much for this person to win. Natalie Ryan.
Yeah, I'd say definitely has a shot. No doubt about it. With that distance and that putt's decent.
Could you imagine
Oh, there would be
what will happen in the disc golf
an
world
uproar.
if Natalie Ryan wins Worlds?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. But
Okay.
I would say 1,000% a
Can't
chance.
win. Can't win, won't win. So, and that leaves off some names like Paige Pierce. Paige Pierce could win. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Her rating is well below all the rest of those ladies, but no doubt in my mind, Paige Pierce could win a world title.
Yeah, kind of crazy that her rating has fallen that far.
She could win.
All right, Logan.
That's it. That's the end of my game. Logan, let's
Bring
hear
it
your
on,
point.
Logan.
Here's my
bring your point. Yeah.
Here's my hot take. Should I be eligible to win a world title? I'm blindsided you guys with this one, but should me, a high school teacher, have the same opportunity to win a world title as Rick and Paul? What I'm getting at is, should the world title be more exclusive? Should it be more cumulative? Instead of
1,000%.
you showed up for a weekend and you're a world champ. Not to downplay it. You showed up, you got the job done. Everybody that is on that list of MPO and FPO world champions did it. They got the job done.
Yeah.
But I'd argue that USDGC holds the same amount of prestige, if not more, because it's so hard to even get there. And then you're going to love this, the NASCAR model
Oh.
of an elimination style. They're doing it on the Pro Tour finale. But what it would look like is winding down, you have 12 eligible competitors. They play a tournament. The top 8 from those 12 are still eligible, drops to 4, and then possibly even 2. So it's expanded over a few tournaments. And then in the NASCAR model, how that works, all 40 cars are running. But in that final 4, if you finish first out of those 4, you're the champion in that final round. So it's not getting beat by the people who are still in the hunt. If a model like that came to disc golf, it would be like the Pro Tour finale, but instead of one weekend, it's spread across multiple events. It breaks the tradition of the PDGA World Championships. But it goes back to my question. If I showed up and played absolutely out of my mind and had all the good luck in the world and somehow came out on top, should that even happen? Should that even be a possibility that I can win a world title? I don't deserve it. I haven't dedicated my life to it. I could have got in probably on tiered registration. There's people rated lower than me that are in the event, and they have a chance to win.
963 is the lowest rated person in there. He's got zero chance at winning this tournament, by the way, but none. And he knows that going in. He knows he has no chance. He just wants to go and he wants to play.
I was rated 10-14 out there, and I knew I probably wasn't winning. I was real with myself.
I think that you're right. USGGC might have almost as much prestige because it's so hard to get to. You're right. Anybody can probably get into Worlds. I can't. They don't have a number of how many there are. I'd have to count.
Or does that help? Does that help the case? Because then you had no excuse to not be here. We have all the best players in the world. It's two sides. I see it both ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to win it to be there. I don't think that you can. I don't like the elimination idea at all for the world champion. It'd be like saying whoever has the best regular season in football wins.
Yeah, I think for me, it really just comes down to, I think 5 days is enough time to really, that the cream will always rise to the top. I don't think you're ever going to have someone that has all the breaks in 5 consecutive days. I think you're always going to have someone that's one of the top players that's going to win. I don't think you're ever going to have someone that's, coming in that doesn't do it full time that's going to take it down, especially with the way players are playing now. That's just my opinion.
I see that. There's just so
it doesn't matter.
It's so deep. So many guys and girls have a chance to win.
It's true.
One girl and probably one guy. You watch Gannon burn that freaking doubles, man.
Mm-hmm.
So ridiculous. So ridiculous. So
I will say, though, I do think it should be more exclusive. I don't know if if the NASCAR model really needs to happen, but it should be exclusive to where some of your performance throughout the year does make you eligible for it. I like that idea, and still keep it 5 days. But yeah, I don't love how many people can get in there. Like a 963 rated person, that's a little gross.
What did it used to be? How many rounds, Smitty? Didn't it used to be like 10 or 12?
9, I think. It was a lot, man. You'd play 2 rounds a day, multiple courses. When I played in Kansas City, I played Waterworks, I think, Rosedale, Blue Valley, Cliff Drive. I think we played at that little private course as well. I played a lot of disc golf courses.
None of those are flat either, are they?
No, I was a lot younger, so it didn't matter. I'd die now. So, well, boy, that was fun.
Yeah, that was an interesting question too, Logan. I like that. All right, well, I guess that's the end of it. Yeah, we don't really have a 19th hole because we're just doing Worlds preview, but we can move into shout-outs. Any shout-outs you'd like to give going into the week?
I do, man. This is going to be a long one, so you gotta stick with me. We're doing the Kansas Junior Disc Golf Championships for the 3rd year in a row, and I hit up, I just put out a feeler if anybody want to sponsor kids to play. It was $25 to play, and I'm just going to run through that list of people who have ponied up a little bit of cash to get these kids in there, and I still have multiple spots. So if you know of a kid that wants to play, I mean, by all means, hit me up. Let's get him in. We've got, obviously, myself. I sponsored 4 spots. Lucas, Disc and Deal sponsored 4. The Farm Path Tour did 4. Team Esco did 3 sponsorships. OMG did 2. Keenan Ford sponsored 3 people. Tall Guy, James McLaughlin, did sponsored 2. Kevin Lambden sponsored 2. Ronnie and Megan Unruh sponsored somebody. Lucas and Melissa Potts. Chance Branscombe, the Wild Bill Disc Golf Club sponsored somebody. The Ramsers sponsored somebody and gave me a box of Frisbees as well. Chase Boyd sponsored 2 kids. Marianne Armador sponsored somebody. Black Ace Disc Golf sponsored 6 kids.
Oh, yeah.
Under Par, Scott Reek is giving me a disc for every single kid in their players packs.
That's sick.
Millennium Disc Golf is giving, or not giving, they're hooking us up with a Helio disc and a golf umbrella for each kid for $20. That's what they're charging me to give to these kids on a $25 entry fee. And then today, the Air Capital Disc Golf Club promised me $400 for the tournament. So what an incredible time we're going to have. We still got 4, 7, 10, 11. I still need 15 kids to fill up those spots that are already paid for. So pretty awesome that people are just coming at me like that. And I'll bet you if we fill up these 15, I'll bet 15 more will be sponsored. So we're going to have a blast. We had a blast every year.
That's amazing. That's super cool. Good job, everyone. Good job. And if you know any kids, send them Smitty's way. Let's get them out there playing some disc golf.
No, don't send kids my way. I don't want kids.
Send them names. Send
me names of kids. I've got enough kids to deal with. I just need their names. And you can bring the kid to McPherson on October the 5th.
Logan, anything from you, sir?
Just dynamic. They've had my back since day one. Continuing to roll with them.
All right. Love it. Love it. I'm back to work this week. So today I got in and, had 7,000 emails to sort through after 7 weeks off. So, woo! So shout out to me for getting out of bed, because I felt like an alien after 7 weeks of not working. I can only imagine how you feel, Smitty. And I guess you too, Logan, when you guys come back from the summer breaks, how weird that is after not working for a while.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right. Well, until next time, I can't wait till we get to break down all of this world stuff. It's going to be fun. I hope to see you on the next one, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Later.